Let's talk about tools. First of all, some context. Hi there, my name is Talon Lee. I'm a game maker from Australia, responsible for a whole lot of games you've probably only heard of if you've already met me. I'm part of Invincible Inc., which is to say I'm half of Invincible Inc., and I've been making a card game a month since late 2015. Just gonna keep these going on by. Anyway, the point is I have made some games. One of the barriers for me was working out how to make games, or rather how to start making games. I always had it in my head that there was like some sort of game-making machine I needed, or some game-making qualifications. Turned out what I needed was someone saying, yeah, you can do that. The tools I use to make card and board games are pretty simple. If I want to write a rulebook, I use an old copy of Word that can output to PDF. If I want to make a graphic, I use GIMP. When I want to arrange a lot of images at once, I use Scribus, an open source desktop publishing program. I make my outlines and my notes in text files, and when I want to learn how to do something graphically, I go looking on Google for reusable open source art assets. That's all it takes. Word can be replaced by an open source program like OpenOffice or Libre or Google Docs if you prefer it, and odds are really good you have a program like these that you like to play with. I use GIMP because that was the tool I learned to use doing other things. When I make audio recordings, I use Audacity, and I'm still learning on that front. When I make these movies, I use Windows Movie Maker. None of these are perfect tools. None are built specifically for this task. But they are all tools that can get the job done, and in my case, that's kind of all I need. I'd rather have a thing that can get stuff done before I move on to other tools, as I get more and more specialized. The prototyping tools I use are pretty similar. I write on cards. I have some blank cards I use, which I'm pretty grateful of, but I started with a stack of business cards that had been misprinted and were going to be thrown out. One of my games, Dark Signs, was made out of a deck of typical playing cards the first time, written on with a pen. One of my other games, Sequence, was made plain with a Uno deck. And this is the real lesson of tools. What you're comfortable with is good enough. You will, sometime, find the limits of what your tools can make, but that doesn't mean you're bad or wasted time working with that tool. The tool you can use later to finish a project is the right tool for that project, and if you decide you could do better later, when you learn how to use another tool better, that's okay too. This isn't to say you need to suck it up and do everything you want with one set of tools that you already have. By all means, try out new tools, see what you could do with them. That's what this video series is, for example. I want to use the tools I have as well I can, and I'm hoping that as I get used to it, I'll be able to justify getting better tools and seeing what use they have for me.